2025. If I'm being honest, this year sucked. Like, really bad. The series of events that happened this year changed me. I feel like I was put through just crazy things that I never even imagined. I feel like I lost a lot, learned a lot, but this journal entry will be the last one for this year, so let's recap. The beginning of this year started out normal. Slow for me, but normal nonetheless. I got a new piercing, 2 new tattoos that I've been wanting for some time. But a couple months prior, I had just gotten out of a relationship unexpectedly, which led to me being heartbroken. I, at the time, thought it was the worst thing that had ever happened in my life. Losing someone that I cared for so deeply. But that was only a minimal part of hurt that would later be factored in. During February, March, I gave my life to Christ. And I put that into quotes for important reasoning that I'll get into later. I had done a photo shoot with one of my friends who owned a Christian clothing brand. We eventually became best friends this year, which led to me becoming Christian. Something that I wasn't raised up on. This was all new to me. Praying, going to church, owning a Bible. I've been following a godly path after a breakup experience. It felt like a fresh start, and everything was going well, I thought, until I realized that it wasn't. Blindfolds were released. One day when I was in church, I realized that I didn't feel anything, like, at all. Christians always talk about how they feel the Holy Spirit inside of them and how they feel that God is moving within them. But I did not feel that. Not when I was in church, not when I was reading my Bible, not even when I was praying. I never felt a real relationship with Christ the way I thought I did. Everything I was just doing was strictly routine because I had trained my body to do so. And then everything I was doing regarding faith quickly felt like a chore. During that time, maybe even a little bit earlier, my dog Diamond began to develop a cough. It wasn't anything major, just weird. After heavy activities, she just started to flare up and start coughing a little bit. When I came home from college, she'd cough. After a walk, she'd cough. I didn't know what to do, but seeing as she was getting older, reaching 10 years old, I just chalked it up to age catching up. Over time, that decision would become fatal. But fast forward to the summer, 2025. I reconnected with my ex for a little bit. We went to church, something that we've never done before. But something was off. We were different. We had gone months without interacting with each other. And I had thought that God had wanted me and this person to work out. But turns out that was just my hurt and delusion taking place. We stopped talking shortly after that. And then I realized that she was no longer interested in me. Flashback towards September 2024. I bought a car, a Corvette. And man, I fell in love with that car. It was really good. Red on red, V8, classic, something I had only dreamed that I could have. It was rough around the edges a little bit, and it needed work, but it was work that I was willing to do because that was the month me and my ex broke up. I had time alone, by myself, and it quickly became just a boy in his car. Going back to this past summer of 2025, I had made it a quest to finish and perfect this car, which meant putting hundreds, even thousands of dollars and countless hours of work into the car. I also had a shop that I had a good relationship with that helped me a lot as I was pretty inexperienced. My car was down more than it ran this summer, but I was determined. And July came, and I got close. One last batch of parts for my car that would have been mechanically perfect. Everything was set. And one day, I had a client photo shoot in Atlanta. And if I'm being honest, I'm a photographer and videographer, but I honestly don't like client work. But reluctantly, I had agreed to this shoot with my best friend that would also tag along. I didn't want to be there, but I was there. And after it was over, me and my friend left in my car to go home. 10 minutes into the drive, on the highway, I got caught off in traffic, causing me to spin out across the highway and hit someone. Car crash. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but my car was totaled. Unfortunately, the at-fault driver drove off, and the car that I had put so much time, money, so much blood, sweat, and tears was gone, just like that. That night broke me. And the worst part was the fact that it was out of my control, which is something that reoccurred this year, every time. The rest of that summer, I felt numb. I still performed day-to-day activities and I still functioned, but something was off. Later, in August, I started my sophomore year of college, and my new car was a Porsche Boxster. If you want to call that an upgrade, then you can call that, but something was still off. September came, and I was forced with a decision that I've been contemplating for months, and it was my hair. I had long, beautiful, and healthy hair, but I felt a change was coming. One day, I woke up, washed my hair, preparing for a day's worth of retwisting. I had been growing out my hair since 8th grade, 2019, and I had my locks since October 2021. But this day, I was just tired. I hadn't had a retwist in months, and I knew that if I didn't do what I was going to do now, then I probably never would have. I always said 2027 was the year that I would do this, but at this point in my life, I felt something within me. So I cut my hair. And it turns out that this was probably the best decision that I made this year. And for weeks, maybe even a month, I was okay. I was happy. But there was still one more problem. Diamond's cough had gotten worse. It was more frequent, more violent, and during the summer, we took a trip to the vet. But the aftermath led me with a decision that I knew I would have to make in the coming months. Her health was deteriorating fast, and with winter coming, it proved that it wasn't getting any better. There wasn't any medication that was working, and things just got worse. In between all of this, might say from July to November, I had seriously started questioning my faith. This year was leaving me with so much bad, and I had thought, well, if God loved me, then why would I be going through all of this? And honestly, that's still a question that I don't know the answer to. Fast forward to November, December. My third semester of college ended, and I was home for the winter. Late November, earlier, I had found myself on the floor one night at home with my panting dog, and I was breaking down, crying. I knew that I would have to make a decision sooner or later, and I talked to her. I asked that she'd hold on and make it to her 10th birthday before I would even consider anything. Just make it to December 7th. She struggled. My Nana had told me that she would be depressed whenever I wasn't home, which was often due to me being at school. But I reached the end of the semester and made it home to spend time with just her. As much time as I could. Diamond was able to reach her birthday. Still coughing. It was much worse now, but she made it. And then she made it to Christmas. But that week, it was apparent that her health and quality of life had rapidly declined. December 29th, 2025, Diamond was put to rest. The reason being tracheal collapse. She fought so hard and was so brave until the end, but we couldn't bear to see her suffering anymore. She lived to be 10 years old, over half my life spent with my girl. She was my shadow, she was my baby, and I was her person. And now, she's in a better place. A much better place. To be honest, I still don't know what happened this year. I lost so much, and the worst part was all of it was things beyond my control. That really hurts. Not being able to do anything in your current situation really hurts. This year broke me, and I'm still uncertain on my path right now, but I know that 2026 is going to be a better year. I still have things to work on, faith included, but next year will be a better year, and I will be better. I will show up, I will stay consistent, and 2026 will be the best year of my life.